What's up, guys? I'm Jenna X, joined by the amazing Freddie Quilts tonight. You know him from the HEX community. What's up, Freddie? How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous.
Cool.
So I'm excited to give away some tickets later, but I want to know, how are you feeling right now about HEX? Because we know everything that's going on with the SEC. Are you bullish on HEX? You bearish? What's going on?
Yeah, that's a good question. And you know, you guys just went through all this over the past couple of years and having to deal with SEC and blah blah blah, and hopefully finding a resolution recently. I think I heard somebody say that maybe the SEC could file an appeal or do some other stuff in y'all's case, but I think for the most part, you guys are clear sailing in blue waters. Hopefully, fingers crossed. One thing that I've really learned this week is that you never know when it's going to happen to you. I have friends who are big XRP people, and I used to make fun of them all the time, give them such a hard time. Oh, the SEC's coming after you. You guys are a joke. You're a joke. And now it's happening to us, and it's like, damn, all right, cool. Now I know what they were going through. Now I see like how that works. And I've heard people this week doing to the Hex community what I've done previously to XRP. So it's funny how that all comes full circle. But even with that being said, like I still feel good. We saw a dip today. We're pumping, like we've come back. I think we've gained almost everything back that we dipped this week with the news. The community is so tight knit and so strong, just like XRP was. And I was an XRP holder back in 17, and um, the XRP community was strong back then. And I haven't really followed it much recently, but I would imagine you guys are still pretty strong. It's one of the strongest communities out there. I feel the same way with Hex. Like we've got a really good community, and the people are all extremely intelligent. So people like Rags to Riches and Gary Funding Jim and some of these other guys who are jumping in these spaces with the big names that do streams with Elon and
Mhm.
Mario space the other day, and then I know Rags was on with the Wolf of Wall Street and had a really good stream with him. Got some really good feedback from him as well. So I'm not pessimistic. I'm really actually bullish on it because I mean we've got the highest of stakes coming out this week. If you think about it, and for anyone who's read through the indictment or whatever they call it, I don't even know. The subpoena, like I don't even know what it's called technically, the legal jargon, but um, a lot of the stuff in there that they're claiming is just factually incorrect. Like they didn't do their homework, they didn't check to see, um, check wallet addresses, which is crazy because everything is all on chain. You can see that things
Right.
haven't been moved. So it's kind of exciting. It's more annoying to have to deal with haters. I think that's the biggest frustration that I've had this week is
Mhm.
not with the price charts, not with the SEC. Well, obviously with the SEC, but with just the people, and I'm guilty of it. I've done it before, like I said, to the XRP community in years past.
Oh
So,
yeah.
that's been my biggest frustration is just having to deal with those people. But the cool thing is we've got really intelligent people in our community, and everyone's kind of reminding us and reminding everyone, hey, a lot of these people don't really know what's going on. They have no clue. They have no idea.
Mhm.
So we need to be patient when explaining these things. Don't get frustrated with people who are out there fudding and who are, talking trash. Take your time, take the effort to really explain how and why. So, I think it'll all work out in the end, but it's going to be a fun journey.
I mean, yeah, you know what? I I understand the haters, man. Oh, did I get them? And I gotta tell you what, you Mexicans love to bust my freaking balls, man. But you know what? It's all cool though. It's all love. I mean, the biggest thing is like, so it was different with XRP, right? And I personally, I don't think that there is going to be an appeal. Yeah, and if so, that could
That's
take
good.
years, right? But for right now, it's the law of the land. What Judge Torres
Yep.
said, that is law of the land. That's the way it goes. Now with Richard Hart, it's a little different because Ripple, the company, was being sued, and it was about unregistered securities. So yeah, you have the unregistered securities claims with Richard Hart, but he's also being sued for fraud. Now, do you think like that he is guilty of any of these charges? Like, is there actual factual? Because you're mentioning, hey, like there's no proof, because we know. Here's what we know: that Richard Hart, he called the top of Bitcoin, right? He was already in crypto before he was making his own money in
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
I would have to think that, hey, this man probably had made, quite a lot of money where he could go make his own purchases, buy his own things. Is there any actual proof that he was spending the funds that he made from his sale of HEX on these items? And also, follow up question to that. Well, actually, I'll let you go with that one first, and then I have a follow up.
Yeah, so that's the beauty about DeFi, and everything is all on chain. So we can see everything. And we know that the funds haven't moved. And that's the thing that gets me is all it takes is a simple hash transaction. And there was actually one of the developers for Pulsechain. He put out this tweet where someone was fudding saying, "Oh, he's guilty. He's done all this stuff." And he's like, "Okay, transaction hash. Show us the hash from the sacrifice address that moved and spent any money from it." And the same thing with the OA for HEX, right? The OA has never cashed out any of the funds. All the funds are still sitting in there. So with crypto and DeFi specifically, it's very simple. It's very easy to trace and track. So where's the transaction hash? If anyone in here can find the transaction hash, show me where it's at. Let's go. We'll settle it. But it's very simple and it's very easy. It's very easy to prove in court. And like you said, Richard Hart, he's been retired since like 03, I want to say. He's for quite a bit. He's got his own money. He doesn't need it. Hasn't been moved. So there's so many things that are in here. And it's funny too, because they're charging him with like misappropriation of other people's funds. But the money that I sacrificed into the Pulse and PulseX sacrifices, I knew that that was no longer mine. I
Mhm.
sacrificed that to a wallet address with no expectations of what's to come from it. So even what they're charging him with, there were people in spaces today who are actually putting together a countersuit as an investor saying, "Hey, look, this isn't true. I am one of these investors, and what you're claiming is absolutely false. That's not what my expectation was. What you're saying is not true. You're misrepresenting me in public." So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Here's my thing. I know one of the things that you absolutely cannot do whenever you're running a project, you cannot say that your project is definitely going to do something. You can't say it's
Right.
going to have better returns than big. You cannot make those certain promises. So we know that he was doing those things, but I think that it's nothing that he doesn't have the money to fight. The biggest thing is, I'm not big into HEX myself. I had small
Hmm.
bag that, thank you guys, gave me the stake and a space. It was really cool, but
That's cool.
um you know, I made a lot of friends with people who were in the HEX community. My thing is, I rooting against anyone I think is the dumbest freaking thing, right? Like, I'm not taking Gary Gensler's side. I'm not taking the
Right.
SEC's side.
Right.
They are on a mission to freaking kill crypto. And that is what we know, right?
Yeah.
So, I honestly, I hope for the sake of all the holders of HEX and everything that this is just something where, hey, he pays a fine for whatever he did. That he is actually proven guilty of. Like, if it is like, hey, made these claims that didn't happen. Yeah, an unregistered security. See, I would have to say yes on that because it's staking. Like, it was advertised as a certificate of deposit. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe those flyers and everything that was advertised was sent out by the HEX community and not actually him himself. I'm not sure what said, was exactly on the website, but I know with the staking and the yield and everything that is, these are all considered
Yeah.
security properties.
So it's interesting too, like Richard never made promises of returns. He did say often that it was designed to mimic Ethereum's 10,000x returns in under 2 years.
Oh.
So that was something that Ethereum did, and he said that he designed it with the same game theory to have those types of returns. So he said also with Pulse and PulseX, he said, "Look, hey, Hex did a 10,000x. Who's to say that Pulse and PulseX can't also do that?" So I've watched. I'm embarrassed to say this. I probably watched all of his streams. And maybe there was something to do, but he's very careful about his wording, and he's very, very careful about
Mm.
anything that he says, specifically for that reason, to not be considered a security and to be able to withhold the Howey test.
All right, totally. So are you, Freddie, are you a Hex maxi? Are you all Hex and Pulsechain?
So I used to be. I was hard.
Okay.
So in Hex, so I lost. Let me give you a little bit of my background. I first got into crypto, and I want to say like 2013. Bought a little bit Bitcoin. So here in DC, right? Like it's super political, like growing up, like choose a side, get in, fit in. Back in '08, I really started to question things and I was like, well, you guys are telling me this and, McCain that, Obama this. And then I got into some Alex Jones and I saw the Obama deception and I really started to question it. And a lot of things just didn't make sense to me. So I
Mhm.
started, I had some friends in the libertarian movement and started getting into Ron Paul, reading End the Fed and some other things. Actually met with Dr. Paul in his office here at Congress. Super cool dude. Sat down with me for like 30 minutes and I just had questions, questions,
Yeah.
questions. What's going to happen? What happens next? And we started talking inflation and food prices, which is everything we're seeing now. And this is when I sat down with him in like 2009. So it was cool. He actually ended um, our little meeting short because he had to go vote against his pay raise. I thought that was pretty cool. I'll always remember that. But I started getting into the libertarian movement, and I had some friends when Bitcoin came out that started talking about it. Like, you hear about this new currency, it's going to replace the dollar, boom, boom, boom. But I didn't know like what the heck was going on. I didn't know about wallets. I didn't know about getting, how to get it or where to get it or what to do. It sounded cool. But it was probably another 4 years before I really grasped or understood what it was. So 2013, I got in, not as much as I should have. 2016, I went in hard, like took out a second mortgage on my home, like went in hardcore. Um,
Wow.
and then that's when I was into XRP and Cardano. I was ADA, big on that. Lost some money gambling, trying to trade, doing all that fancy
Mhm.
schmancy stuff. But in the process, I found Richard Hart. And when he started talking about HEX and launched HEX, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I need to be in here. And I had failed at every other thing that I had tried to do in crypto. And I told myself, I was like, look, I trust this guy. I like what he has to say. He speaks truth. He's a lot like Trump, where he speaks his mind and he doesn't care what people think about it. So I went all in, and then I'd gotten some pretty good returns after even just the first year. I was like stoked, and I was like, all right, babe, we had some other stuff, and we just dumped it all in and converted it. So for a while, I was a Hex Maxi. I mean, writing music, shooting music videos, dancing on like Eric Wall's coffin, which is crazy because Eric Wall and I are boys now. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy. But um, as we have grown and as I've grown and as I've learned, I I I guess I would say I'm a Richard Hart maximalist. I'm a RH maxi, so I like, all that stuff. But I have friends who are founders in crypto, and I want them to succeed. And
Mhm.
there are even people in my own community who say, "Oh, you're chasing shiny objects, this and that." And I'm like, "Nah, bro. I've been in this community for 4 years. I've developed relationships. I've partied with
Mhm.
these people all over the world.
Sure.
I want them to succeed. So me dropping, 25, 50, 100K into their projects doesn't have me chasing shiny objects. I just want my friends to succeed. And if I lose money in the process, that's okay because I want them to be successful. One of them, literally at my house, he'll be there tomorrow night. Rags to Riches, his whole family's here right now. One of the people I've developed a really good relationship with over the last couple of years. So he's the founder of Texan Token. I love Texan. There's other people in the community who have founded tokens. So I'm not at Hex Maxi anymore. Um, I still have the mentality of, not your keys, not your coins.
Yeah, yeah.
90% of crap is out there is garbage. You'll probably get, yeah, Rags is the man. You'll probably get rugged on most of the stuff you get into, right? That's how I got into crypto. I lost a lot of money when I went in hard in that first bull cycle that I really hit. Um, but no, I'm not a maxi per se. Like I definitely hold other tokens. I've got a bunch of different stuff. I might not talk about it or promote it as much, um, but I'll definitely show love out to um, people that I'm friends with who I want them to succeed.
Right? Like I'm trying not to be an XRP like max anymore, but everybody knows like that shit's in my blood. Like,
I
yeah, I
saw
go
you
out,
changed your
I
name, like your
flirt.
Twitter handle.
Yeah, I
You
was
took the
trying to like
XRP out, yeah?
I'm Jenna interoperable now. Jenna X.
That's awesome. I
before
love it.
before
I love
X
it.
was a thing. So yeah, no, DJ Pollywood, what? You're coming to DC?
Yep,
Really?
yep, yep. So
That's
him
gonna be
and some
crazy.
Hexagon, they have these vans that are like wrapped for the
Yeah.
Pulsechain tour. Yeah, they're gonna be there like parked out front. Hopefully, we're trying to get the two spots like right in front of where we're gonna be. So it's awesome. We've got, oh, check this out. Here's a cool little tidbit. So we're doing after parties both nights.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
Let's
going
talk
to be
about it.
awesome. Saturday's going to be awesome. They're both going to be a really good time. We've got place locked up at Rocket Bar, which is right next to the Capital One Arena, which is right where the movie theater is. Literally, right. You walk out the doors and you're right there at the bar. We're going to have a big, huge liquor luge and ice sculpture on Saturday night. So we'll be doing shots out of that. I'm telling you, we
What?
turn up, man. We have a lot of fun. It's going to be really, really cool. Super
I'm
fun.
stoked. Okay, guys. So we need to know in the chat who is going to be in DC. And if you're going to be in DC and you don't have tickets yet for the highest of stakes, let us know. Actually, shoot an email over to me, jennaxmarketing@gmail.com. Say, I want tickets. Just do that because we have 2 to give away. And you know what? We want to hook you up. So thank you, Freddie, for that. Freddie's hooking
Yeah,
it
heck
up.
yeah. Heck yeah, absolutely, man. The guys who shot the documentary are super cool. So a lot of people in the community say I caused the top with my music video, the Furu's Eulogy. And it was like 2 years ago, September of 2001, and everyone was just fudding so hard. And I wrote this song, whatever, boom, boom, boom. Had an idea for the music video, and the name of the song. I was like, man, what if I just call it the Furu's Eulogy? One of my buddies was like, dude, you should call all of the influencers and ask them to fly in for the music video. And it was super cool. Everyone came in, like RG3, Kinetics, David Feeder, Cabana Crypto, our boy Cabana,
Yes,
who isn't going to
yes.
be in DC this weekend. He's in Tampa, but he'll be home next weekend, whatever. He's going to be a week late. But they all flew in. We shot this music video, and Big K flew in, and Big K and RG3 and Kinetics were working with Patrick and Grant at the time, trying to see if this is something that they wanted to do to get them on board to make this documentary. Well, they were over and they filmed like this little teaser, and they met Richard and found out that we were going to be shooting this music video. So Patrick and Grant flew over. They actually helped us shoot the music video. These guys are like 5-time
What?
Emmy Award winners. And it was super cool. They flew in, they helped us shoot the music video. This was 2 years ago. And that was the very start. That's when they were like, yo, this community is crazy lit. We definitely need to see what this is all about, follow this and see what comes of it. So I've met both of them. They're awesome. They're studs. They're rock stars. I actually had an invite to be at the premiere in Miami tonight, but there's just so much going on with the premiere here in
Right.
DC and everyone coming into town for it. Like we had to be here for everybody. So kind of
Listen, you
stinks I missed
gotta
it, but
you gotta rep DC, up here
oh
for
geez, no,
like
it's
as Northeast people. Like, don't leave
absolutely.
us all hanging.
And we throw some parties in the Hex community. We do penthouse parties, we do all sorts of stuff, mansion parties and stuff at our Vegas meetup. So I want this to be just another one of those awesome events that people talk about for years to come. So Friday and Saturday night are both going to be super awesome. Plus, it's your birthday party, so
It's my
bonus.
birthday.
We're going to turn
Yes.
up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Guys, yes, my birthday. I'm not telling you how young I am, but it's actually on Sunday. So we're gonna come in for the, of course, the premiere, eat dinner, some kind of fancy restaurant, go to this
Nice.
premiere, and then of course end up at the Rocket Bar. And then on Sunday, we're actually going to a game at Camden Yards. So
Dude,
it's gonna
it's
be
one of the
a
nicest
fun
stadiums in the league.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yes.
Camden Yards is awesome. It's awesome, especially if you're a baseball fan.
Mhm.
Have you ever been to Camden Yards?
Yes, many times. So I always went
Okay,
when they
okay, okay.
played the Yankees because I'm a Yankees girl. So I'd always sit behind
Oh,
third
I
base so
gotta
I could
go.
see
I
Derek
gotta go.
Jeter,
I gotta
Alex
get out of here.
Rodriguez.
I can't sit here for this. So, do you know
Oh
about Pickles Pub?
no.
You know
Yeah,
about Pickles?
everybody
All right,
knows
all right, all
Pickles
right, all right.
Pub with the pickle shots. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
If you hadn't like gone to Camden Yards before, I'd definitely say go to center field. You definitely got to hit Pickles Pub outside of Camden Yards. It's super fun, and then come in. It's just a big party out in the middle of the street, but good times.
Everybody knows Pickle Pub. All
Damn, you
right,
got a whole
guys.
weekend lined up. Do you know where
I
you're going to
know.
dinner yet?
Um, I don't know. It's a surprise.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
They've
right.
hooked it
He's
up.
probably doing something for you. Yeah, he's probably hooking it up for you.
I know he did. He's a foodie, so I know it's gonna be good. All right, guys. So before I'm about to play this trailer, guys, for the highest of stakes, listen, I don't care what kind of crypto you're into. I love anything crypto related, Bitcoin, scam, anything, any kind of project that's out there, documentary, movie. I want to see it. I want to see it all. Besides, we know that this is going to be a good time. We're all going to be partying. And I'm trying to get some XRP people up in the mix too. So, guys, after party, Rocket Bar at the like where is it? Capital One Arena, right outside the theater, right? It's like right there.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird the way that it is. Gallery Place, the arena is one big block. Half of the block is the arena. It's huge. And then the other half of the block is like a mall, and it's all connected in. So there's bars around the outside, and there's like shopping on the inside, and the movie theaters inside. And then you can come out of the movie theater, still be inside, and walk directly into like where the Wizards and Capitals play. I think
Yeah.
Sam Smith is performing tomorrow night. Beyonce and Pink are performing, I think Saturday and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, maybe just Sunday. But yeah, so we're gonna be it's gonna be crazy down there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then literally you walk out of the door right past Clyde's, and Rocket Bar is right across the street. So it's gonna, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Word. All right, guys. So let's check out this trailer if you have not seen it yet. Remember, if you're going to be in DC, you don't have tickets yet, and you want to go, send me an email to jennaxmarketing@gmail.com. We are giving away 2 tickets. All right. Let me know what the volume's like.
Okay. We are set for you, Richard. What do you want people to know about you?
I got a big dick. This here is $3.1 million watches. I own the world's biggest diamond. You don't. I do.
Who is Richard Hart?
Genius.
Legendary.
Arrogant.
Bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
$250,000. Hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life.
Who does this guy think he is?
Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. Everything is getting worse. The only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
It's better than the dollar. It's better than gold. It's better money.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual percentage return.
I want to make people millionaires. I've made thousands of millionaires.
Richard Hart's HEX token is a brilliant scam.
Desperation has a look to it. And when you're looking for just anything, you will fall for anything.
HEX is going to be the new cryptocurrency. We'll take over the market. There isn't anything else out there that's worth the shit.
Everything I have worked for all my life is staked in HEX.
Good. I put it all in.
All in what?
All of our house money.
Why is it important to you?
I want to feel loved. Don't you guys want to feel loved? Everyone wants to feel loved, right?
Richard is a messiah.
Savior. God.
That sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
That you're incentivizing people to pull money off the market.
You know what? I think you just described a 401k.
If the music stops, they're sitting on nothing. X doesn't make money. That's where I'm so frustrated. What is the value?
Here's the benefits. Do you want to get rich?
No, I don't think that it's a scheme. Because I trust Richard Hart.
It seems like some of this is just a large performance art project. And if ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are going to get fucked.
I mean, you can fool a couple people, but I mean, can you fool that many?
So that means I should trust you.
The head nod.
Listen,
right there.
I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you get the crap scammed out of you.
She's like, what?
Yeah, that's fun. This is, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good.
It looks so good. I can't wait.
We are super stoked.
Isn't that crazy though? Like literally the timing of this in the SEC case, guys, like the SEC case isn't even real. That's just another marketing strategy.
Dude, it's wild. literally. I feel like the team knew when it was going to happen, and everyone was waiting. Everyone's been waiting because they said it was going to drop fourth quarter last year. And here we are coming into the third quarter. No, we're in the third quarter. We're in the third quarter this year. Holy cow. And everyone's like, what the hell? Where's the movie? And then literally they're like, okay, it's going to come out July 11th. They made the announcement. I think they had to have known something, some sort of timeline that where they would be having it come out right when this was going to be happening. Like there had to be some sort of coordination. It's insane, but it's perfect. How many people this week have been, on Twitter, on Spaces, on YouTube, on the news, talking about the SEC coming after Richard. It's perfect timing. It's perfect timing. It could not have been done better.
Same. And like, I love the title too, and they're like, scam, or, is he brilliant? That's like exactly like what's going down right now.
Yep.
Could not be any better.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see this all play out, and I am convinced in my mind that they knew something was going to be coming about this time, and that there would be an announcement made, and I think there's a very specific reason why this movie is premiering this week, literally the same week that they are coming after Richard. I don't know. No such thing as a coincidence, at least in my belief.
Right? Samesies. All right, guys. So email jennaxmarketing@gmail.com if you need tickets for this, because we are going to pick somebody. I have a couple
Cabana!
people. Is Cabana in the house?
Yeah.
What? Yes. Thank you for my tickets, Cabana. For linking us up.
Awesome, dude, man. Like, Cabana and I did a road trip last year, and he doesn't live too far from me. So I drove up to his house, and we left his place. And then we drove to Detroit. We drove to Chicago. We drove to Pittsburgh. We just went into a bunch of different baseball stadiums. We went to Detroit first and to see the Tigers play. And then the next day, Big K in the movie threw out the first pitch at the Cubs game. And I'd never been to Wrigley. And it's on my bucket list of fields to go to. And went to Wrigley, saw 2 games at Wrigley. Saw the game that Big K threw out the first pitch. And then the next day, there was a day game. So we were much more sober that game. So it was cool to be able to go there. And then the next day we drove to Pittsburgh and went to PNC Park, saw the Pirates play in Pittsburgh. It was super cool, man. We hit up like 4 different games in a matter of 5 days. It was fun, and spent a lot of time in the car, and you're driving 7-8 hours at a time to all these different places. You really get to know people, for who they are, and Cabana is just cream of the crop, man. One of the most amazing people I've met in the community.
He is pretty rad. That's like how I found out about HEX. He hit one of my friends up who told me. And of course, after getting rugged a couple times by some like, I don't know, like random ass like Emacs and that stuff, I'm like, nah, I'm not touching it. This is a scam.
Yeah.
Like there's and so of course I'm like, damn, I should listen. Then it just starts pumping. And then like
So you and Cabana have mutual friends like outside of Twitter and YouTube?
Yeah, in the real world, like
Oh,
out
no way,
there.
that's wild.
Yeah, actually, and he's who linked me up with Cabana, and so yeah, my pleasure does. He's an OG, got me into that. So
yeah, he is. He's one of the studs in the community, that's for sure.
yeah, enjoy your vacation right now, Cabana. I heard you're living it up, so good for you, my homie. Totally. All right, so guys, we have this going down in DC. Gonna be a great time. I hope the XRP army rolls up too, because you know what? I love it. I think we could squash a lot of tribalism, like you're saying. So many haters just want everybody to feel, no, we're all here for the greater good. What is that? To get financial freedom, to create generational wealth. We're all in it together. So I love
check
that.
this out. I know that you had said before the stream that you had 2 or 3 people who had emailed you that would possibly be coming to DC this weekend. So instead of giving away 2 tickets, how about everyone who's emailed you so far, we just give them tickets?
All right, cool.
Can we do that? Can you see if anybody else has emailed since the stream has started? And if not, everyone who has already, we'll just give everyone tickets just to make it fun.
I like that. Yeah, I don't have any new ones since we started it, but
okay, cool.
Let me reply back to these few people and see if they want tickets. Perfect. Awesome, love you.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And it'll be cool too. Like, I know you've got a pretty decent following, and maybe get some XRP people to come out and do like an XRP meetup here in DC to come meet up with all of us and all Hexkins and help us through our sorrows with the SEC.
Yeah. You know what? It sucks. We're all in together, but you know what? You get through. You do. It's like if you believe in it and you hold on, like you just pull through as a community. I mean, you have to. It's what you do. And guys, I want to show my Discord for a minute. We are doing a birthday party in there tomorrow. So if you want to play poker with us, I think we're having karaoke. We're doing Rumble Royale, giving away crypto, probably some NFTs. So pop in. It's at 7 p.m. My link tree is on my X, aka Twitter, since some people aren't familiar with that yet. X.
It's going to take me a while to get used to that. Like
I know.
My wife yesterday was like, "Hey, the new logo popped up on my phone," and I'm like, "You haven't been getting that all week?" And she was like, "No, I just noticed it." I'm like, "I still call it Twitter. I don't know. It's going to be hard to call it X." So what do you call tweeting? Xing?
I guess my X is my Zeets. Zeet. I don't like post. Like, I don't want to do a post. I would just rather say this is my X on X. Just keep it all X. Makes it easier.
I thought you were talking about a person, your ex, when you said that. I was like I had to process it, and you were like Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, I'm glad I didn't say anything. I'll look real stupid.
Right. Like, it's gonna take a minute for people to get used to that. But yeah, so we're partying tomorrow in the Discord. If you guys like to play poker and want to do that and you're not going out, definitely check that out. Otherwise, tomorrow it's going to be a party. I want to ask you, you are a libertarian. Have you heard of Liberland?
No, I haven't.
It's a crypto country formed by
Is it like in the metaverse or something?
No, it's real. It's a real place. Like, there's basically like unclaimed lands near Siberia, I believe it is. And you have to look it up and check it out. But they're actually forming their own country, and based on the principles of live and let live, which is really cool. But they're all like Bitcoin, like decentralized, everything, no taxes. It's really neat. But they're building
Liberland?
it from
Libra?
Liber.
Oh,
Liberland.
Liberland.
Yeah,
okay.
Liberland. So libertarian.
All one word.
Liberland. Yep. Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's pretty dope. Like, all the people are really, really cool, but very, very simple principles. But we see how things are going to shit here in the United States, and it's pretty neat. You have to definitely look into it. But they had an event in DC, and it was like, I don't know, it was like in May. It was so much fun. There was people literally from all over.
Have you ever heard of Pork Fest?
Pork Fest?
Yeah, like Porcupine Festival. It's a libertarian festival. It's like a 3-day thing. It's usually up, I want to say, in New Hampshire.
No.
I was wondering if they moved it to DC, if that's what you went to.
No, I've never been to that. No, this one we hosted like their event because they got an office in DC, and some of the ambassadors from Liberland are in that area. So they have an
Blockchain Democracy, Diplomatic Milestones, and the Floating Man Festival.
Yeah, it's super cool. Real country, and get a passport from that country. Yeah, you could become a citizen.
This is crazy.
So I'm working towards my citizenship, and what I'm doing is earning merits, because you can actually like pay, I think it's $10,000, or you can work towards it if you want to. So that's what I've been doing, and helping with different events and stuff like that. But it's neat.
So you can essentially get a second passport for 10 grand.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the hell? What am I doing with my life?
The hardest part, though, is getting other countries to recognize this country. So I think it's recognized by Haiti and a couple other small ones, but that's like the biggest thing. But they have what's called Liberland Aid Foundation, where they do all of this mission work, and they even donated a Bitcoin to El Salvador, to a children's hospital, and they help build different things and just provide aid, essentially. And that's how you start building your rapport and stuff like that.
This is pretty cool.
Really cool.
This is really, really cool. I know that in some of his streams, Richard has talked about starting a country to really get away from all of the BS. This looks like this is what these people are trying to do.
Exactly.
This is amazing. This is awesome.
So I hope it works. I hope it comes to fruition.
Yeah, hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do some research into that. I'm actually going through this process right now of changing my status. There are 3 or 4 different types of status that you can hold. You can be a U.S. citizen, you could be a state citizen, you could be a state national, you could be a foreign national in the United States. And there's some really cool stuff that we are in the middle of the process of getting our certificates of live birth authenticated by the Secretary of State to change our status. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. So Snoop knows exactly what I'm talking about.
He does. He was
And
telling me about this before.
yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. You essentially no longer fall under the jurisdiction of the federal government, the corporation of the United States of America. And therefore, you no longer, one of the perks is that you no longer fall under the jurisdiction of the IRS. So you go through the process, you have to reverse everything that's already been done, because when your parents, when you're born, and most people don't know this, when you're born, the hospital gives you a certificate of live birth.
Mhm.
Your parents then take that certificate of live birth
Mhm.
and register you as property of the United States government, and then you're issued a social security number. But
Mhm.
they're not legally bound to do that. And as a national, US national or state national, you can still have all of the protections and benefits of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights without the legal requirements for the jurisdiction of the federal corporation government, which is pretty cool. So you get a new passport
Mhm.
and you can still travel. You have an American passport, but it's different from your United States citizen passport. And, everything that we're doing and going through right now has been backed up with Supreme Court case law. So everything that we're doing is completely above the books and legal. But it's an interesting process. It's not too expensive. To get like the copies of our certificates of live birth, we had to go to like, the health department in the state that you were born in, and then they charge you like per copy for each one. And
Mhm.
everyone in my family is doing it, so we had to get 5 copies of each of those. There's like a whole process, and there's like a private group chat that we're in. So we'll talk about it in the green room, and I'll get you in. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So you go through the process, you undo everything essentially that your parents did to you and put you in, and that you just kind of fought along with because you didn't know better for so many years. And then once you get all of that undone, you just reestablish your status. The State Department issues you a brand new passport, and it's pretty interesting. It has some very cool perks to it. But yeah,
Noah
like
says, what
there are.
happens after? Like, can you still own anything?
Oh
And
yeah,
can
yeah.
you still, you could
So
live here and not get kicked
yep,
out? Like, there's no
correct.
limit of
Correct.
time?
So you do not, and a lot. This is one of the things that gets people screwed up, is that they will renounce their American citizenship, which you should never do, because it's almost impossible to get that back. Like, you would have to go through the process of becoming a citizen. If you renounce your citizenship, you're an
Wow.
illegal alien, and you have to go find a country to basically accept you, or go through the process here in America. So you're not renouncing your citizenship, you're changing the status of, from one to a different category, essentially. So you never, ever, 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 ever want to get rid of your American status in citizenship. You're just changing the status of it. But yeah, you have to be careful. But yeah, so check it. Snoop already has the passport. That's dope. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
Hexicans who have been through the process. They have their passport cards and their new passports. I know Hexicans who have been living this lifestyle for 30, 40 years, haven't paid taxes in 30, 40 years. IRS doesn't mess with them, doesn't leave them alone. Yeah, like if you don't fall in their jurisdiction, and it's all legal, it's all above board, it's all on paper, you're good. And it sounds too good to be true. And I had another thing in the libertarian movement. I had friends try to explain this to me before, and I was like, it's bullshit. There's no way that that's real. Like, this is not
Yeah.
a real thing. Until now, I'm in the position to where I'm like trying to protect my wealth, and I'm like, I don't agree with 99% of what the government does. Like, it's just, I don't know. I see in the comments here,
Wow.
Roger Ver renounced for more than 14 years. He's doing okay. Yeah, but you got to be careful. At that point, if you renounce your citizenship without just simply changing status and reestablishing yourself, you are an illegal alien, and they can deport you. You don't have a home at that point. You have no home country. You have no way to get a visa. You have no way to get a passport. So there are things now. Once you have this status, and I tell my friends who like don't have the means to just go out and buy a car, if they got to get a loan, like there's things that you can do. So for example, once you have your status changed, you can set up a foreign trust. You put all of your assets into the foreign trust, and then it's very difficult for anyone to take anything from you here in the United States.
Oh.
And then what you can do is you can start up foreign businesses, and then those businesses can be approved for lines of credit, and then you can use that to purchase stuff. There's an entire thing to do. But yeah, so as a St. Kitts citizen, he has privileges here in the United States. So even if he renounced his citizenship here and he is a citizen of St. Kitts, then they have agreements with the United States. And there's a bunch of them. There's 10 or 12 that are really good, that have, 100+ countries that you can travel to freely with the visas from that. And my wife and I, we looked into that. We looked at multiple visas, multiple passports, or I'm sorry, multiple passports from different countries, multiple places of citizenship. I heard Andrew Tate talk about this one time, and he was like, you know what? People say they want to be off the grid all the time, but in all honesty, you want to be on as many grids as you possibly can, just because it's that much harder to find you, track you down, and take your stuff. So when you have the status of a state national, you can still apply for passports and citizenship in other countries as well. So you can hold multiple passports in different countries. That's totally cool. You just take which one you want when you're leaving to go somewhere. If you're going to one country that doesn't allow someone to come in, or doesn't really, have good terms with another country, you just take this one and go there. So we looked into all of that, and the best thing by far that we found is updating our status, changing us to our correct status in the United States, getting our brand new passport, and then applying for passports and second citizenships in different countries beyond the United States.
Do they ask you why? Like, what is your reasoning whenever you're applying?
No, you just send in, you get your paperwork lined up, you send in your affidavits, and then you tell them what you want. You're a free citizen in the United States. Like, you're allowed to do what you want. You have God-given rights. They're God-given. Now, the new corporation of the United States, the federal government corporation, is going to tell you, no, you need to get your rights from us, but you have the right to travel. You technically don't need a driver's license to drive, right? And now driving is a commercial word. So if send your affidavit, I hand my notice. Yeah. So like Snoop's been through the whole thing. So he could help you with it. He could probably send me to some stuff. So I want to know everything I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and the case law to back it up before I do it. Just so if anyone asks me about it or gets into details, I can be like, boom, boom, boom. This is what it is. Let's keep it moving. How long does the process take? So we started, I'm like 2 months in. I've been dragging my feet. I started this process back in January, but we've been doing a lot of traveling, so haven't really been home. I'm home now. Like, we just got back in today, and our son starts school in like 2 weeks. So like we're here, like it's on. So I should be able to finish this up within the next 2 to 3 months. The thing that takes the longest time is certified mailing your certificates of live birth to get them authenticated by the Secretary of State of the United States. They have to sign them, stamp them, get everything done, certify mail that back to you, and then file your affidavits. So with the county, with the state, I think the mailing and waiting to get your certificates of live birth back from the State Department, from my understanding so far, and like I said, I'm just kind of learning this as I go, but I've been studying it for a while. I think that takes the longest. That can take up to like 8-10 weeks to get something back from them.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but you can go down to the state that you're born in. Every county has their own health department. You should be able to go to your own health department in the county of a state that you were born in, and pay them for copies of your certificate of live birth.
Yeah.
Then you need to go to the capital of your state and have the Secretary of State for your state stamp and certify your certificate of live birth. Once you have the state Secretary of State certify it, you then send it to the United States Secretary of State for them to certify it. Then after you get that back, you start to file your affidavits everywhere. It's crazy. It sounds way too good to be true. We are right in the middle of the process. I really didn't want to talk about it too much
to
the HEX community, or to anyone for that matter, until I've put myself through it.
Yeah.
Completely. So then I can explain it to everyone, the pros, the cons, the benefits. You should do this, you shouldn't do this, you could do this. It's easier to do this. It's not hard to do this. It's harder to do this. All the different things until I've actually fully been through it. But yeah, like we're there. We're going through it, and it's like let me see. There's a video I can share. It's like an hour-long video, and that sounds like such a long time. But hey, we've been going for almost an hour. So if you've hung with us that long, then you should definitely watch this video that we're about to link up, because it's very informative and it goes through step by step. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna find it here and then I'm gonna post it in our little chat.
I guess like my question be with that, then you don't file any kind of taxes then? Like, is it like a known thing? Like, I don't even have to file an income
So
tax?
there's different forms that you give to your employees or your employers, even like it's all covered. It's all in there, right? So there's an option. You do not have to opt into the government that runs this country right now if you don't want to. Everyone has options. Need the birth certificate for a passport, but if you want them to have it on file, then send it. But if not, need it for a passport. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that you have to do. So I didn't. And again, it's not a birth certificate. It's a certificate of live birth. A certificate of live birth and a birth certificate, Snoop, are two different things. So it's good to have it validated and certified by the Secretary of State just for your own personal records. From my understanding, you don't need it when you apply. And so like if you already have a passport, one of the things is you don't apply to renew your passport. You completely apply for a brand new passport as if it's the first time you're ever applying for one. You're not trying to renew it. You're not going through any of the process if you already have one. You go, okay, taxes are voluntary. So you literally just apply as if you have never applied before with your new status. And then, yeah, it's cool, but it takes time. Yeah.
That is so dope. Why is nobody talking about this? Like Snoop tried to tell me about this last year. I'm like, he's high. Like he's gonna get himself in trouble. I'm not sure what he's up to, but
you need to come on Steak and Bake, my stream that I do with Tangent and Big K. We just smoke weed and talk crypto. So if you're in here and you like that, join us over there for Steak and Bake. Let me find this link real quick.
Yeah.
So someone tried telling you about it?
Yeah, and I was like, listen, he could get himself in trouble. Like, I don't know what he's up to, but he did try to tell me about last year that he was doing it. Now I'm like, okay, so now I heard it again. It's confirmed. I don't think you're crazy anymore, Snoop. I believe.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's legit. Oh, here we go. All right, I found the group chat, and then here is the link. I'm gonna tweet it out, but I need to find it first. So we have there's a couple of very good resources within the HEX community of people who have literally been state nationals or U.S. nationals for like 30 years. And this guy travels and he does talks on how and what, and, you know, deeper in like what you do, how you do it, where you go. Let me see. Hold on. Where is this? It's got to be right here. I just copied it and sent it out the other day.
I would so bail you out, Snoop. What's up,
Copy.
JB? Thanks, everybody in the chat.
Excellent.
Appreciate you guys.
Here, I just DM'd you on Twitter the link. I don't know if, let's see if I can pull it up here, and then I can go down, click here, copy, and then I'll just paste it. Here we go. I got it.
All right, what do you think about this? Using a world passport is just as good, if not better. That way you're not taking claim of any one government entity.
Who do you get a world passport from?
Yeah, where do you go for that? Is there an office?
So here, yeah, I don't know. So one of the things is like, you don't need a driver's license, right? So as a state national, now the cons of this are it's more difficult because you don't have a social security number. So you have to have some sort of business set up, and, you know, like foreign trust and you know, a business under that trust, and there's things that you have to do and have set up. But another one of the cons is most police officers are ignorant. Like, they just don't know the law. So you could definitely get harassed by just dumb cops. And Blue Lives Matter. I love cops. I'm a pro cop guy. And weed is legal now in Virginia, so I can say that. But yeah, no, I love the police. They're cool. Like, I don't have any beef with them or whatever. But a lot of them just aren't educated on the actual laws. So they might try to hem you up. But here's the cool thing: if they ever do, like, as a free sovereign person, and this is another con, like, they're trying to throw the term out there, like sovereign, like that. Just be careful with all that. That's some scammy crap that will get you in trouble. You want to go by the book and do everything as a national. But like, as a person of myself, like, one of the things that I file in my affidavits are my hourly rate. So if I'm detained for anything, for any purpose, for anything that's unconstitutional, then I can civilly hold anyone who is involved with that responsible for my hourly rate. So the police officer individually can be held accountable, the sergeant, at literally everybody involved. And if I have a $2,000 an hour rate and they take me and detain me and put me in jail overnight for 12 hours, they're going to be paying 24 grand minimum, plus my attorney fees and all this. Like, it gets very in depth, and you have to be very well versed in it. So these are some of the cons that, like, it takes time, it takes knowledge. You have to prepare for it, which is why I'm being got a 5 and soup. Which is why I'm being oh yeah, it's your fee rate schedule is what it's called. I'm being just very meticulous about the entire thing. Like, I want to know the ins and outs and whys of everything and how. So if I am ever in that position, I can very easily explain it. But yeah, I just posted the link. Check out, watch this link. It's super awesome. It's super easy. And so far it's been pretty painless, but yeah, it's wild.
Wow. I just don't understand. Why would an officer pull you over and throw you in jail? Like, why?
For refusing to give a driver's license or driving without a driver's license. Supreme Court case law has stated over and over and over, you don't need a driver's license. It's part of the Constitution, it's your constitutional right.
Wow.
And the thing is, once an officer violates your rights under the Constitution, he forfeits his qualified immunity, which means he can then be held civilly liable for anything that he did to violate my rights under the Constitution. So it gets very deep. Study law, people's rights to land, air, and water. Like, everyone in your chat seems to, like, know what's going on.
Yeah, like, awesome.
Yeah. This is cool. It sounds like you've got some pretty smart people in here. But I wanted to comment. JB Heavy Equipment Services Inc. says American national is not the same as a sovereign citizen. In the media, you hear them talking about sovereign citizens, and these people are just not doing the right things or taking the right steps to make sure that everything is done the correct way. They're saying that they're sovereign, they don't fall under any government, this and that, blah blah. So the media, in the last couple of years, you've probably heard that term. The media is using that term to kind of group everybody together, the nationals, American nationals, and sovereign citizens, into one group, but they're not. They're two completely separate things. But the media, being the vindictive, lying, nasty people that they are, really want to try to group everything together to scare people into not doing it. But do your research, do your own research. Don't trust anything I say. Always go, always do everything on your own. I can try to point you in the right direction. There are people that you can pay to go through the process, but I didn't want to pay. I just wanted to learn it all on my own. So I'm going step by step, learning it, the ins and outs, the case law, everything that backs it up. And yeah.
Wow,
It's
that's
wild.
awesome. Great
It's super cool.
information. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think Snoop's crazy anymore. Thank you.
Yeah. No. It's super cool. It's super cool. But
Yeah,
been
rock on.
going about an hour. I do have some guests over here.
Yeah.
So how about we just, everyone who emails you, we'll get them tickets, and then we'll go from there. And I think you've already had a couple people email you. So
Yeah, we totally have. Thank you so much, Freddie. I am stoked for
Heck yeah.
Saturday. It is going to be a good time. I can't wait to see everybody. So
Yeah.
awesome. Let's
It's
do
going to be
it.
a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be super cool. Super
Hell
cool.
yeah. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Appreciate you. Don't forget to email me if you are looking for tickets. All right, guys. Peace out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. See you guys.